What's up, Tailgaters? My name is Tailgate Nate, and welcome to my channel. Guys, I still got 79 teams to go in my road to predict all 131 teams this college football offseason. We just finished with the ACC. I know what you guys are here for, but in case I haven't done your favorite team yet, or maybe even if I have, and you want to hear my thoughts on the rest of the on the rest of the nation, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, so you are updated when a team that maybe you're interested in gets uploaded. But as for fans of the ACC, welcome to my 2022 ACC recap and standings predictions. Fans of the ACC, college football fans, this is definitely a video for you. I'm going to be recapping the ACC, kind of just my quick, brief thoughts on each team and why I have them, where I have them in the conference standings. I will give you my conference standings predictions, and then I will give you kind of a predicted conference championship game here as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kind of get into it. So standings in 3, 2, 1, boom, there you go. I'll give you guys a second, take a look in. Now, let's discuss. On the left-hand side is the ACC Atlantic. On the right-hand side is the ACC Coastal. I'm going to go team by team, division by division, kind of discussing why I have this team in this position and why I have them where I do. And then taking a look at the conference championship game that I have predicted there as well. We're going to start in the ACC Atlantic on the left-hand side, and then we'll go to the ACC Coastal, working our way from bottom up. Let's go ahead and get started. So Syracuse is at the bottom of the ACC Atlantic. Now, Syracuse might absolutely prove me wrong and might prove to be so much better than the 4-8 record I am projecting. However, I do think that Syracuse, they had trouble kind of finding that 6th win a season ago, and they had trouble getting some wins at times, played in some pretty close games. Syracuse, the team that definitely is losing some talent, but has a lot coming back. And in order, I think, to save Dino Babers' job, Syracuse may have to get into a bowl game this year, or at least get close for Dino Babers to remain that head coach. There's speculation out there about that. For Syracuse, I think it's a tough schedule. I think they are going to have trouble finding some wins. That's why I have them at 4-8 and why I have them up bottom. I think it's a Syracuse team that's going to have a lot of fight and a lot of drive and a lot of passion, but I do think they're going to come up short of the postseason. When you take a look at the rest of the division up, Boston College and Florida State, I see as two teams there that very well could prove to be higher in the standings than where I am projecting them currently. However, they're two teams that are returning their fair share of talent. Boston College, of course, is returning Phil Jurkovec. Sorry, I couldn't think of the first name for a second. Phil Jurkovec and Zay Flowers, Pat Garwell, 1,000-yard rushers coming back. So there's a lot to like about this Boston College team coming in. However, with Jurkovec and Flowers back, this is a schedule that probably is going to need a little more than just Jurkovec, Garwell, and Flowers to shine for this team moving into 2022 in order for them to get to bowl eligibility, but I think they get there. And I think that offense can be pretty good last year. Again, I don't predict injuries, but they got to stay healthy as well. Florida State, a team now that I have 5th in the division, just above Boston College. Some tiebreakers I have is why they're there. But again, Florida State is a team that is moving in the right direction. It doesn't seem that way, but I do think Florida State's a team that's moving in the right direction. I do think Florida State, definitely a team that's going to make a bowl game this year. There's still a lot that needs to be done in order to get Florida State back up towards the national on the national contenders list. But I think this year making a bowl game, very good start and a very good push in the right direction for Florida State. Louisville I have as 4th in this division in the ACC Atlantic. They're returning one of the best playmakers in the country in Malik Cunningham. And I think he's going to win them a lot of games that Louisville maybe quote-unquote shouldn't or is in close one-possession games. I think Malik Cunningham is absolutely more than capable of taking over games. We've seen it happen before, and I think he's going to have to do that this year as well. However, in my opinion, one of the better dual-threat, probably the best dual-threat quarterback in the entire nation, had over 2,000 passing yards, had over 1,000 rushing yards a season ago. He's a beast, an absolute beast, and I think can propel Louisville to a 7-5 record. Now, when you take a look at the top 3 teams that I have in this, let me start over. I'm sorry. When you take a look at the top 3 teams that I have in this division, I think those are your 3 players to get back to the ACC championship. Starting off with Wake Forest. Now, I have them going 9-3. The defense needs work, and they changed their defensive coordinator to try to fix that. So the defensive coordinator does definitely need, the defense in general does definitely need a lot of work, change their defensive coordinator. I think someone in my comments mentioned I said offensive coordinator. I don't know what I was thinking. I definitely was probably thinking about the offense, said offense, but defensive coordinator, yes, obviously. Wake Forest losing that defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator coming back to an offense that was very good a season ago. So Sam Hartman, A.T. Perry, lots of offensive talent coming back. It's the defense that's got to get itself figured out in 2022 in order for Wake Forest to get back to the ACC championship. NC State here I have as second in the division at 10-2, 6-2 in conference. And I think NC State is going to be pretty good in 2022. I think they're going to be really good in 2022. So for the NC State Wolfpack here, I definitely believe that this is a team that maybe a little more so than Wake Forest can make a run towards the ACC championship game. I think they have the offensive talent. They have a lot of the better defensive groupings in the entire nation. When you look at this, could be the best linebacking group in the nation. This could be one of the top secondaries in the nation. Devin Leary's a pretty good quarterback. The only question I have for NC State is how do you fill that running back room after Knight and Person are gone? But can still push for a spot in Charlotte. However, I think the team that gets the spot in Charlotte, you know them good and well, it's the Clemson Tigers. A lot of questions going to be going to the offense this year, and possibly even some on the defense with Brent Venables being that head coach now at Oklahoma, Wes Goodwin coming in. Have you seen the roster of this Clemson defense? I mean, I can list 8 guys on the defensive line, and every single one of them could start at any program in the entire nation. Clemson's a very deep defensive team. I'm not worried about the defense. It's the other side of the ball. That's got to get you worried if you are a Clemson Tiger fan. So if DJ Uyunglele or maybe even Cade Klubnik can come in, provide good, solid play, maybe even elite play at the quarterback position, I think Clemson's going to be just fine and right back in the ACC championship game. Now moving on to the ACC Coastal, the division that definitely is going to be interesting to watch this year, as it usually is. The ACC Coastal, over the past however many years, has always had a different champion. It's been kind of bouncing around between teams. And, this is a year where it could do that, but I think it's a little more set in stone than years past. The 2 teams at the bottom, Duke and Georgia Tech, I do think are the 2 worst teams in the ACC. I don't see either one of them doing really anything special. I see Georgia Tech winning a couple games in conference play, but that's kind of it to the story with those 2. Definitely need some rebuilding years at both programs. When you take a look at the teams above them, I got Virginia Tech at 5th in the division. There's no question this is a team going through a program rebuild. Brent Pry is coming in, and I think this Virginia Tech team is going to be competitive in 2022. However, I don't think they're going to be competitive enough or they're going to get enough results to go ahead and go on to bowl season. Now, there's a lot of change that still has to happen with that Virginia Tech program, and it absolutely can change in a very short amount of time. This is college football after all. Expect the unexpected, but I don't expect Virginia Tech to quite contend in this division. I could see them making a bowl game, but I think they fall just short, and that's why I have them where I do. Virginia, they're at 6-6, 3-5 in conference. I see them making a bowl game with Bronco Mendenhall out of town. They're going to look to old Clemson offensive coordinator Tony Elliott, and to an offense that was really good last year. Yeah, the Clemson offense wasn't good last year. We already know that story. But what the Clemson offense has been in years past, be afraid if you have Virginia on the schedule, because that could be a potent offense in 2022. I mean potent. So definitely a team to watch out for offensively. Defensively, you got some work to do. North Carolina, I think if everything goes right for this North Carolina team, finding a replacement for Sam Howell, whoever that happens to be, starting at the quarterback position, they return their top 2 wide receivers from a season ago. The talent's there for North Carolina. It's just about putting the pieces together, and they're going to have a new quarterback coming in. Sam Howell was a stud. Really, really good stuff from Sam Howell. With a new quarterback now, maybe a little bit of a new look North Carolina offense. I think it's going to be difficult for them to push for that for the division crown in 2022. There you were. Couldn't find the words I wanted to say. If North Carolina can put everything together and the puzzle pieces can fit and lock into place pretty early, maybe this team could make a run. But I just don't see it. I think it's going to take a year maybe for North Carolina to try to get back. I know they were supposed to be a contender in the ACC and then ended up not being a contender. Fairly disappointing in the Sam Howell era for North Carolina compared to the expectations that were put on this team. However, I can see this team being yet again a solid team in 2022, a team that I definitely think is going to make a bowl game, and a team that, again, I think if everything goes right, maybe can push their way up. But the two top contenders, without a doubt in my mind, in this ACC Coastal Division are Pitt and Miami, without a shadow of a doubt. Let's talk about Pitt first, as they are the team that I have just barely missing out on a trip to Charlotte for the second straight year. Of course, they're the reigning ACC champs, but they're losing Kenny Pickett, losing Jordan Addison. We all know who they're losing and what they've got lost. They're also losing their offensive coordinator in Mark Whipple. Yes, big losses. But they're bringing in Keaton Slovis from the transfer portal. They are bringing in Kanata Mumfield, who, a name you probably haven't heard of, was an all-conference and all-freshman wide receiver at Akron. Watch out for him. He can be a real difference maker on this Pitt team. Their entire offensive line is back, a lot on their defensive front, secondary as well. This is the Pitt team that still is going to be talented in 2022. Make no mistake about it, and can win this division yet again. However, I think they fall just short to the Miami Hurricanes. Now, these two teams play, Miami and Pitt, at the end of the year, last game of the season, and it very well could decide which of these two teams plays in the ACC championship. And I see that being Miami. Look, for the Miami Hurricanes, you got Mario Cristobal in. You got Josh Gaddis in. Lots of other coaches and coordinators coming in that can help this Miami team. Miami has always had the talent. They've always recruited to have the talent. It's Miami. They're going to have the talent there. What was missing was coaching and player development. Now they have that with Cristobal and Gaddis and some of the other names that I could mention off of that coaching staff. This is a Miami team that I think, while they might not get everything turned around, I think they have a stud at quarterback in Tyler Van Dyke. Wouldn't surprise me to see him in New York as a Heisman finalist come December. There you go. It's a Miami team that's got a lot of talent on it, and I think wins the ACC Coastal by beating Pitt in that final game of the regular season, which brings me into the conference championship game. Clemson and Miami. Miami going to be looking for an ACC title to get to a New Year's Six bowl game, in my opinion. Maybe even more if they have a better record than 9-3, as I'm projecting. Wouldn't surprise me to see Miami win 10. It'll be a little bit of a mild surprise to see Miami win 11 games, to me at least. But it's a Miami team that if they win 10 games and they're in Charlotte, it's not going to surprise me one bit. It's a very, very talented Miami team, and now they have the coaching to get them to Charlotte, to this position. But they're going to be facing the Clemson Tigers, and Clemson, with my predicted 11-1 record, 8-0 in conference, are going to be looking to get back in the college football playoff. So if this scenario plays out, Miami can spoil that, and Clemson can find themselves right back in the top 4. So that's going to do it for my ACC predictions. That conference is over. We got one more Power 5 conference to do, and that is the Pac-12. Thank you guys so much for watching my ACC predictions, and I hope you're enjoying predictions up to this point. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, anything like that. Help support the channel. And remember to play hard, but tailgate harder. I'll see all you guys in the next one. Pac-12 starts tomorrow. Goodbye.